Well, really pleased with seeing how we were able to adjust when the shots weren't going in. We have been blessed with great shooting the first 5 games, and today they weren't falling, but we found a way. We knew going into the game paint points was going to be huge. We needed to make sure that we took advantage of them on the inside, and Lewis, is their leading scorer, so we needed to make sure that we fired on her and knew where she was at all times. And, they were the ones that came out and made shots early. 4 of 11 from 3 in the first half after shooting 18% in their first several games. But I really liked how we made the adjustment. We went inside. We drove the ball more. We got to 15 feet and took those shots. So it's good to see that we're able to adjust and still score the ball offensively when shots aren't going in.
Well, paint points 38-18. That's pretty impressive right there.
It is, and if you look at the board in the locker room, you'll see that that's an emphasis for us. We knew that we had to take advantage of them. We felt like that we could get a good matchup getting the ball to Caitlin early, and we knew if they doubled off her that her and Hannah have done a really good job of playing off each other, and so we wanted to take advantage of those matchups.
I asked Hannah, her assist totals in these first 6 games. I mean, I know you've got several different players touching the basketball, and that tends to lead to an open pass, but her assist totals are really strong right now. What is Hannah doing to see the extra pass right now?
Well, we put her in position. A lot of times we bring her out on the floor, and she is the entry pass to Caitlin because we want to pull the big away from the basket. But she's just done a really good job of finding her and finding other people and making really good decisions with the basketball. So just really proud of what she's been able to do because she's shown the ability to score the basketball. She's rebounding the ball extremely well. Her defense is getting better every game. And when those two can play off each other and pass to each other as well as they are, it's just going to make our offense even better.
It looked to me like the entire team was passing pretty well, finding other people today.
Yeah, I felt like that we did assist on several points. It doesn't really only 15 total assists, but what we were doing was we were getting ourselves in position to get the next pass, and then a lot of times we used a dribble to get to a better spot. So that kind of takes away the assist. But, this team's very unselfish. They don't care who gets the credit, and that's what makes them very special. And if Caitlin's on a roll, they want us to keep getting the ball to her. When Macy's making shots, we find a way to get her shots, whoever it is. But that's what the goodness of this team is, how together they are and how unselfish they are. And just really pleased with them fighting through the adversity that we faced the last couple of weeks with having some players out. Lex came back today. Just got to get her back going, back in the rotation, and expected to have Bria back sometime next week. So, the chemistry and the culture has got to continue to be good as everybody accepts their roles going forward.
For a little bit, this was looking like the Mississippi Valley State game with Caitlin. Looked like every time you turn around, she was going to the hoop and scoring for you.
Yeah, she's just so good. I mean, her footwork is exceptional. She can bring people out on the floor. She does a really good job of using her body to get position, and she's able to maneuver herself around people. A lot of times avoiding fouls, in which I wish she would, get to the foul line a little bit more. But our players do a great job of finding her, and she does a great job finishing. There's a lot of confidence, mutual confidence both ways.
I was just curious from a health perspective, as you start to return from a minutes, there's only, I've done the math, I believe 200 of them in a whole game. Where does Lex fit? Where does Sanders Woods fit? Can you go 10? I know I've asked this before earlier in the year, but I just continue to see healthy players get minutes. How does that all fit, and how do you put it all together?
Well, that's a good question, and that's something that's yet to be determined. We got to get Lex back in shape and back in physical condition. Bria's coming off an ACL, so how quickly she's going to be back ready to go. So I think it's just an opportunity for us to use these non-conference games to kind of get a feel. Because the kids on the floor deserve to be on the floor. I mean, there's nobody willing to give up minutes right now, and that's what makes it great, and that's what makes the competition and practice good every single day. But I feel like that eventually we can be 10 deep, and I think that that's going to bode well for the rigors of the rest of our non-conference schedule and definitely conference season. It wears you down after a while.
I know your big thing is defense, though, and that's your Howard Beth disciple. 4 points in the third quarter. I think he would have been proud of your team today.
I thought the third quarter set the tone. We talked about that at halftime and really, really locked in, made them take tough shots. They didn't give them second chance opportunities. We didn't turn the ball over a whole lot in that quarter. And those are things that we have to do. We want to win the battle of the frees and the threes. and we won the battle at the free throw line. We didn't necessarily win the battle at the 3-point line today, but overall they ended up shooting 25% for the game. So I felt like that we made those adjustments, and they didn't make any big shots late. And those are things that you have to do. But our kids' basketball IQ is extremely high. We're able to do a lot of different things with them defensively this year that we've never been able to do in the past. And I think it makes it hard on teams. So we just got to continue to lock in there. Hopefully the shots will fall more this week, and we can really get things going.
It seemed to me that your intensity in the half court in the second half really went up, and that's why they had some real issues scoring.
Yeah, we made a few adjustments at halftime, and we fired off a couple players and got some help in the paint, and got some made it hard on their post touches. And again, I think it's just about rebounding the basketball. I mean, we got them to take tough shots, but we didn't give them second and third opportunities, and I think that's key. A lot of times. You look back at games that you lose, and it's because points off turnovers or second chance points that you gave up. Those are always crucial stats for us each and every night. And even though I'm not happy with the 11 turnovers, I felt like that we didn't allow them to turn them into points, and that was a big key for us.
Coach, for 3.5 years, we've watched Macy Turley have to handle the basketball so much. I know Burpo had some spell there her sophomore year where she was kind of maybe the lead guard who brought it up the floor. Today, and in some other games, we've seen Casey Connor bring the basketball up and handle the top of that rotation and set the offense. Is that going to be a role for her maybe moving forward as she played a lot in high school, but that's totally different than D1 basketball?
Right. Oh, she's been tremendous and handled everything with such poise. You talk about a high basketball IQ. You know that she came from good pedigree. Playing for several different coaches, but Aaron Beth of late. I know how high basketball IQ he has, and you can just tell she's been taught to play the right way. But yeah, anytime we can take Macy off the ball, it allows us to run her off screens. It allows us to get her into actions that we want to get her into, and it takes some of the load off of her because we're trying to limit her minutes and we're trying to make sure that she's able to go when we need her to go. So that was part of the recruiting process. That's one of the reasons we brought Clara in. That's one of the reasons we brought Kaysen in, and then obviously when Bria comes back, she can play that role as well. So our assistant coaches did a great job in finding those pieces in recruiting and finding players that we knew fit our style and fit what we were trying to do. And like I said, all the credit goes to them and the players for being able to piece this together.
Is Macy better at her 15-foot jumper off of the screen or when she has the ball off of dribble pull-up? Is that something you guys can even – I mean, both are good.
Yeah, she's pretty good. I tell you what, though, her ability to stop on a dime off the dribble and transition and make it is pretty special. You don't see that a whole lot. I would put her in a contest against anybody, Division I player, of making that 15-footer. When she's rolling, she doesn't miss on those. Struggled a little bit shooting the ball today, but has been shooting it amazing. So, you're going to have a letdown at some point, but continued, to lead our team and make sure the ball got where it needed to be, 5 assists. That's something that we can count on every single night from her. But when she's making shots, she's tough to guard.
I just wondered which was better.
Yeah, I don't know that we've ever statted that, but I take her shooting a 15-footer off a ball screen or off dead transition about every possession.